Tori Petry, Mike O'Hara, and Tim Twentyman out here after Lions Camp practice presented by Rocket Mortgage. Today was day 8 of training camp. It was kind of an interesting practice, so we'll start right there, guys. It was a little bit of a scrimmage out here, kind of a fun one to watch. Well,
obviously the first big thud you heard was from Jared Davis, but there's one of those every day. I think he just waits for that. But I really thought that the offense kind of struggled. It really did. I got a couple of touchdowns in there, but I just didn't think it was a great day for the offense. Not so sure if that was the defense's fault or not, but maybe just not a great day for the offense overall.
You know, to your point, I think the offense has moved the ball a little bit down the field, but they certainly bogged down in the red zone, and we saw a lot of short field goals today. But look, we did see a nice touchdown grab by T.O. Redding. I thought he had a great play, went up over top of a defender on a one-on-one fade, and then Darnell Sankey,
yep.
80-yard. Tease Tabor got his hand on a ball, went right to Darnell. He went down the sideline. So there were a few big plays, but I would agree with Mike. It was probably more. I would give the A to the defense today more than I would the offense.
And I think it's kind of the way it finished off. 8 days of training camp, 6 or 7, 8 practices, whatever it is. I thought the guys looked a little bit tired the last day and a half. It's kind of not losing their legs a little bit, and so I think that's to be expected with a lot of practices in a row with pads on.
And we talked about this, that we kind of maybe expected this, that they have a day off tomorrow, then they go to Oakland. You know, they practice in the morning on Monday and then go to Oakland, so this was probably going to be maybe a little bit sluggish. I thought it was a good idea by Matt Patricia to have this kind of practice on this day. You know, if it was just a normal practice, day 8, before a day off, getting ready to go to California, it could have been really sluggish, I think. So
Sure.
It was good to change it up, do a scrimmage, get some energy out here. Talking to the guys afterward, they liked it. Now you get ready for California and the Raiders.
And for a little perspective for people who haven't been here, they've been in pads many days in a row. You know, they have not taken the pads off since they put them on, really. They had a little break day in there. But it's also been hotter the last couple of days, so the sluggishness, I don't think is so much as a reflection of where the team is at, just a reflection of just being in training camp.
It's the dog days.
Yeah.
Well, I think as a head coach, it's something you inwardly expect, but with the team, you just don't accept it, though, but you do accept it.
Sure. Well, let's get into talking about what we've seen over these last few days. The three of us, the last time we talked on a video, we were previewing training camp. So now that we're 8 days into it, who has stood out to you? What has really been evident that you've taken away from these first 8 days?
You know, I think one offensive player for me, I think Marvin Jones has really stood out to me. And was
that
going to be his? But you know, I think since the very first practice, I think he and Matthew Stafford have been really on the same page. You know, I think one of the first throws they made down the field was a great back shoulder throw with Darius Slay in tight coverage, and they just connect that. They've hit down the field. You know, I think one of the things he really wanted to work on this year was the run after the catch. You know, I think we're seeing that a little bit out here as well, catching some of those shorter intermediate routes, making a play afterward. To me, I think he's been one of the best players out here.
Yeah, and for Marvin, it's hard to get yards after the catch when you get jump balls down the field that are contested balls. Usually get tackled or you're in the end zone when you make the catch, so it's hard to get the yak after that. I thought we were looking for young guys to step up a little bit, and I think T.O. Redding has done that, not just because he had a nice grab in the end zone today. You know, contested pass in the left front corner of the end zone is a good catch for him. I think he really made a little bit of a mark. Defensively, you know, kind of still looking. I think the secondary is solid as can be. They've got so many guys in the secondary that they can just roll out 4, 5, and 6 almost at will, however they want to, have the nickel, the dime, and those different safety combinations that they use. I think we're going to have to wait to see about the front seven. You know, when you really we'll see more of that, I think, against the Raiders when they're going against different people.
Certainly. Well, we are looking forward to those joint practices next week. One thing that I did notice from these past 8 practices, though, is we talked a lot in the summer about Tease Tabor playing opposite of Darius Slay, and during camp we've seen Deshaun Shedd play a lot there. We've seen Nevin Lawson play there. There's been a little bit more of a rotation than there was in the spring practices. So what have you made of kind of that cornerback battle?
Well, you know, I think with the veteran Shedd, he's a guy who can do a lot. He's got experience. Obviously, he was hurt last year, but look, he played a lot in that Seattle defense the year before. You know, when you talk about Tease, you expect he makes a big jump from year 1 to year 2. And Nevin started 15 games last year. Look, he's got a lot of games under his belt. So, you know, I just take it as they're going to rotate those guys in.
Yeah.
You know, I think they wanted to get their reps before, the first preseason game, second preseason game. But I think they're going to roll them in, and it's a true competition. They're going to see, who rises to the crop. It's going to be the best man takes the job. And I think they're doing a nice job here, kind of giving all those guys an opportunity to get some reps with the first team and see what they can do.
And I think a lot of it's going to be situationally, too. Maybe against size matchup, speed matchup, formation matchup. Guys are going to get their playing time. They may not play as many snaps. Well, they won't as Darius Slay and Glover Quinn. But when you get your chance, produce, and you get more chances.
All right, well, the Lions have a day off from the field tomorrow. They will practice on Monday for a quick practice before they head off to Oakland. And, of course, the three of us will be going there, and we'll have all the reports for you from those joint practices in Oakland before the Lions face off against the Raiders for their very first preseason game. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this stream. We will keep you updated. For DetroitLions.com, I'm Tori Petry.